auditorium every year, and I think a lot of that has to do, first of all, they've got a good youth program here in Morrisville, but second of all, Bob Rowe is recognized, and I don't think I'm going out on a limb here, as one of the top coaches in the state in any division. He finds a way to get this team into the playoffs, get this team to the auditorium, and more times than not, they hit the final round.
Dave, there's Division I coaches, they told me this, that watch what Bob Rowe does up here at People's Academy. He's one of the most respected coaches in the state. And I'm going to tell you, Marvin Pritchard is well respected also at Hazen Union. These are two good veteran coaches taking on each other tonight. They love going against each other, by the way.
Seems like Bob Rowe always has the luxury of depth. While many teams go 6, 7, or 8 deep and are happy to do so, Bob Rowe year in and year out goes 12, 13, 14 deep. Again, that's a result of his youth program that feeds the kids in here at Morrisville. But in order to go that deep, you have to play them. And at this time of year, that depth is a big factor for people.
Well, we've sat up here, Dave, year after year, and we watch Bob's team come out no matter what the score is in that first quarter. There's 3 or 4 reserves off the bench getting in there in the first quarter. And that's very important.
Let's talk for a moment about that third time is the charm. Time and time again, you see teams face each other in the playoffs where one club has beaten the other twice already, but can't seem to do it the third time. That third victory is awfully tough to get.
It is, and it works. I think there's a psychological factor in there that should be discussed. The team that's been beaten twice, they come out and lose. They've got nothing to lose that third time. The team that won the 2 games sometimes has trouble really getting that intensity level up there for that third game.
I almost don't expect that to happen, though, tonight, simply because of the way those first 2 games went. Both were tie or nearly tie ball games going into the fourth quarter. The first game was People's Academy by 8 or 9 points. The second game, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, 55-52 People's Academy. They pulled that one out at the foul line in the final 45 or 50 seconds. So I don't think the Wolves are going to come in cocky here tonight. They know they got a battle on their hands.
Then there's the neighborhood factor. These 2 clubs know each other. These guys know each other year-round, so it's not like they're strangers that meet only twice a year.
Well, as is generally the case here at People's Academy, a sellout crowd on hand. As a matter of fact, I arrived here at 20 minutes before 6. That's right, 20 of 6 tonight. And there were 100 or 100 and a half people waiting out in the lobby wanting to know when the doors were going to open. And by 6:15, there was nary a seat to be had. If you're on your way to People's Academy tonight, turn around, go home, and get close to the radio because there's no place for you here tonight.
Well, when I got here, there's a big line out into the street, and I was met by the booming announcement, okay, boys, everybody in free, DEB pays. They know it.
They saw you coming. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. First of all, for the Wildcats of Hazen Union, Coach Marvin Pritchard's club ranked number 5 in Division III with a record of 12-8. At the center position, it'll be Rob Montgomery, a 6-foot senior. At the forward positions, Doug Mason, 6'1", also a senior, and David Willey, a 6-foot senior. The backcourt combination, Ken Brown, 5'10", the only junior in the starting lineup for Hazen Union, and Mike Masius, a 5'9" senior. For the Wolves of People's Academy, Coach Bob Rowe's club ranked number 4 in Division III, 14 up, 6 down on the season. It'll be Matt Rowe at the center spot, 5 feet 11 inches, a senior. The forwards, Matt Oakes, a 5'9" senior, Matt Bashaw, a 5'8" senior, then Todd Randall and Tim Cox in the backcourt. Back to tip it off in a moment.
See it, you love it, use it for the feeling of it, going down. You love it, you know it. When you think about the choices, it's the best around. Things are looking so much brighter. There's a choice that's so much brighter. Got a nice cold Pepsi sitting in the palm of your hand. You got the choice of a new generation sitting in the palm of your hand. You got the choice.
If there's building in your future, call Grimes Incorporated to Morrisville to line up your excavating project. If it's a road to your building site, a cellar hole and septic system for your new home, a pond or spring work, you can count on Grimes, a family business established on hard, honest work. If your project will need a backhoe, bulldozer, or loader, call Grimes Incorporated at 3160. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. With Grimes Incorporated at the junctions of routes 15 and 15A in Morrisville.
Steve Moody, now ball right, back courtside at People's Academy in Morrisville, where we're ready to go. The Wildcats and the Wolves for a berth in the Division III semifinals. Ready to jump at center. It'll be Todd Randall for People's Academy going up against Doug Mason of Hazen Union. Again, it bears repeating now, Hazen will have the advantage height-wise straight across that front line, and People's Academy is going to have to work hard on the boards.
This game could be won or lost right there under the glass.
Hazen Union in their road red shirts with white shorts. People's Academy, green shorts with a white and gold top. Tap is in the air and controlled by People's Academy. Matt Bashaw to forecourt will start it off. On the right-hand side, Cox. Back on top, Bashaw with it. Looking at 2-3 zone right now from Hazen Union.
Man-to-man.
No, it is man-to-man. Got a little bit of a zone look on it. First shot from outside by Rowe. Long bomb is no good. Rebound by Cox. Turnaround jumper. Rattles, won't go. Rebound Hazen Union. Doug Mason clears the glass. Leaves it off now to backcourt for Brown. On the left-hand side is pass behind Mason and out of bounds. So the Wildcats with an unforced error on their first possession. It's PA basketball.
Marv Pritchard, the Hazen coach, did say he's going to be changing his defenses a lot tonight.
Bashaw looking inside for Rowe. Pump fakes into paint. Turnaround from 12. In and out. Rebound to the Wildcats. Throwing the glass is David Willey.
PA 0 for 3 right now from the field.
Willey comes across the timeline. Gets it on the right sideline for Mesha. Mike Mesha holds onto the ball. Watched closely by Oaks. Now cross-court pass on the left-hand side. Mason with it. Doug Mason. Leaves it on the right for Montgomery. People's Academy, as per usual, with Bob Rowe clubs in a tough man-to-man. Top of the circle now, Brown with it. Drives right of the lane. Goes into the corner for Montgomery. Pops from 15. It's an air ball. Cleared away by People's Academy. So both clubs off for a slow start here in the opening minute. 6:43 remaining in the first quarter. We're scoreless. Foul line extended. Matt Rowe for People's Academy. Top of the circle now, Bashaw. On the right baseline, Cox with it. Pump fakes. Doesn't want the shot. Bashaw, top of the circle. On the left-hand side, Oaks. Into the corner, Rowe. He fires from 16. It's no good. Rebound for the Wildcats. Mason with another rebound. Gets it to forecourt now for Brown. He goes foul line and will have a foul called on the Academy. PA foul will go on Matt Bashaw, his first. First on the team. 6:22 remaining, first quarter. We are still scoreless. Hazen to inbound near center court. On the top of the circle, Mesha with it. On the left, Mason into the low post. Turnaround jumper by Brown. Rattles, won't go. Rebound, Rowe. People. Here comes the Academy looking to hustle. On the right-hand side, Bashaw taking it baseline. Nothing there. Back on top, Rowe. On the right of the lane, drives to the foul line. Pops from 12, off the glass, no good. Rebound loose, Randall has it, and he gets cracked inside. Foul's going to go on Doug Mason of Hazen, his first. First team foul on the Wildcats. And People's Academy's going to get a couple of free throws here. We've played 2 minutes. No, they're not going to give him the shots. You're going to say it was on the rebound. Bashaw will inbound. We've played 2 minutes. Neither team has scored. Here's Rowe. Foul line right. Drives into the paint. Throws up the left-hander. No good, but he drew the foul. Rowe drew himself a pretty nice triple team in the paint that time. And the Hazen foul will go on Rob Montgomery.
And Rowe will go to the line.
Montgomery, 6-foot senior center for Coach Marvin Pritchard, had 13 points in the last meeting between these two clubs. And Matt Rowe at the free throw line will shoot 2 for PA. First shot is up and no good. Well, you mentioned that neither one of these teams has played in a week, and in the opening 2 minutes and change, it shows. Second shot is up. He's got it.
The only place it's really shown is in the shooting under pressure.
Wolves are on the board. They lead 1-0 with 5:53 remaining here in the first quarter. Across the timeline, Brown for Hazen brings it top of the circle. On the left-hand side, Mason. Cross-court pass is off the hands of Willie, out of bounds to People's Academy. Wildcats trying to lob over the top. A little too tall for Willie, out of bounds. The PA with the 1-point lead comes to forecourt. Bashaw stops near the half-court line and calls the play. On the right baseline, Rowe. Back on top, Bashaw with it. Picked up immediately by Brown. Matt Bashaw. Left-hand side, Oaks. On top, it's Bashaw.
Defense looks like a 2-1-2, but what I think it is the matchup zone.
Matt Rowe, right of the lane, pump fakes once, twice, nothing there. Gets it to Bashaw. They throw inside, stripped away from Cox, but he retrieves it. He gets it out to center court, where Matt Bashaw has it. Foul line left. Oaks trying to drive baseline. Nothing there. Top of the circle, Bashaw. Good defensive work here by Hazen. Rowe on the right-hand side. Foul line extended. He'll take the long jumper. It's no good. Rebound, Randall, reverse pivot. Missed the bunny, and we'll have a foul called against People's Academy.
That'll be Randall after the shot.
Todd Randall was a 360-degree pivot. Couldn't get the shot to drop and committed the foul on the rebound.
Here's the full-court pressure by People's Academy, but it's light pressure.
In the backcourt, Brown for Hazen Union. Looking to bring it across. Does on the reverse pivot move at center court. Jump pass. Goes left of the lane for Mesha. Drives halfway down. Back out at the foul line. Willie working against Randall. Bump. Knocked down, and they're going to call the travel. Incidental contact as he tried to drive. Threw him off balance, and Willie turns it over on the traveling violation. 4:40 remaining first quarter. It is 1-0 People's Academy. Bashaw. Foul line extended right outside the three-point line. Top of the circle, Rowe. Now on the left, it's Oaks. He fires for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound to the Academy. Cox saves it inbounds, but Willie has it. Now PA hitting the boards hard here in the first quarter.
Doing a good job on that offensive board, and then the other end, limiting Hazen to one shot. Here's the block.
Brown puts up the jumper. Bashaw knocks it right back in his face and out of bounds. It'll be Wildcat basketball. They have gone nearly 4 minutes without scoring here in the opening period. Hazen to inbound on their own end line. They get it out on top. Doug Mason with it. Leaves it right of the lane for Montgomery. Foul line extended. Top of the circle. Jump shot by Willie. Swish. David Willie with the foul line jumper, and Hazen is on the board. They lead it 2-1.
First hoop of the game with 4:05 to go in the first quarter.
Bashaw, top of the key for PA. Goes into the low post. Randall's runner is no good. Rebound slapped around. Taken by Hazen. Doug Mason with another board for the Wildcats. Mason on the left of the lane. Gets it back out on top for Brown. Ken Brown, watched closely by Bashaw. Retreats to center court. Gets a pick from Montgomery. Right of the lane. Into the corner. Now the jump shot by Mason. Air ball. Taken down. Reverse pivot move. Shot up by Willie. No good. Rebounded again. Up and in. And it was Doug Mason on the offensive board scoring for the Wildcats, and they lead now 4-1. Matt Rowe, right of the lane for Peoples. They give him the 15-footer. He shoots and hits. Rowe doesn't require a whole lot of room to hit that 15-foot jumper. Hazen trying to inbound. Can't do it against pressure, and they need a timeout. Oh, Marvin Pritchard is irate there because the Wildcats unable to get it in against the full-court press.
Well, it was a good timeout if a timeout taken in those circumstances is...
Added the highest quality dairy products for Lamoille County, like supplying milk for Elmore, Morrisville, Hyde Park, and many other schools. No wonder Lamoille County's produced so many great high school basketball players. They've been drinking Morse's milk every day at school. The Morse family takes pride in supplying Vermont milk and products. Look for Morse's milk in your dairy case, with the Vermont seal of quality assuring you the freshest milk around. Morse's Dairy, Morrisville.
3:14 remaining in the first quarter and only 7 points on the board for both teams combined. Hazen over Peoples 4-3. And now the Wildcats will go back to work against that People's Academy full-court press. Willie looking to get it in, now does, into the hands of Mesha. Double teamed in the corner, cross-court pass, still in backcourt for Brent Hodgson. At the timeline, Mesha. He's got to hustle. Cross the timeline now. Hodgson has it. Down low they go. Montgomery lays it up and in. Good patience by the Wildcats there as they barely got it to forecourt. For once they did, it was an easy bucket for Montgomery.
Well, they used a good 9 seconds in backcourt, but actually, when you really get into the game, 10 seconds, a little longer, you sometimes think it is.
They worked it down to the final couple, I guarantee it. People's Academy with the ball. Rowe, top of the circle, wins it off for Spalding. Rick Spalding just into the contest, goes left of the lane for Toll. Inside Rowe, rolls to the hoop and lays it in. Matt Rowe now with all 5 of his team's points here in the first quarter. People's Academy trailing by 1, 6-5. Willie in the backcourt, needs a pass, gets it off on the right to Mesha. Back to Willie, they got to hustle, they get it ahead. Montgomery has it, deal off inside, shot laid up and in. Doug Mason again, the fast break. Off the methodical full-court press break. Shot is put up by Spalding of PA, no good. Rebound long to the top of the circle, taken by Rowe. Into the corner, left-hand side, Chris Toll with it. Back on top, Spalding near center court.
On that offense against the press break, what Hazen's doing, getting the cutters at midcourt. Since the ball gets there, they cut right down to the basket in the lane. It's working.
Sargent inside for People's Academy gets the short jumper. Paul Sargent, 6'3" junior off the bench for Bob Rowe. He had 9 last time out against Hazen. That's his first bucket of the night. Hazen, top of the circle. Willie with it at the foul line. Throws down low, picked up, reverse layup is no good by Mason. Rebound to People. Here's Spalding, hustling up, brings it top of the key, gets past Hodgson, lobbing into the corner, picked off by Willie.
Willie thought he heard a whistle. There was a screech. It sounded like a whistle, might have been a sneaker.
Yeah, it sounded like a squeaker squawk. Sneaker squawk. Did we say that 3 times? Hazen trying to get it left of the lane. The pass is off the hands of Hodgson and out of bounds. 1:25 remaining in the first period. 8-7. Hazen Union has not trailed in this one. Substitution into the Wildcat lineup. Ian Breslin, 5'10" junior, will check in for Coach Marvin Pritchard, replacing Willie. PA with the basketball, looking to take their first lead of the night. Foul line, right row, back on top of the circle now. Toll with it. Fakes the shot, doesn't want it. Drives to the foul line, gets it back out top of the circle for Barber. Into the corner now, Spalding drives out underneath and lays it in. Rick Spalding with the baseline drive, and the Wolves have their first lead, 9-8. Here's Montgomery. Jump shot from the wing is good.
Well, Montgomery's one of the guys in his Hazen team that Bob Rowe felt is very important to control.
Second bucket of the night for Montgomery of Hazen. Jump shot from long range is no good by Barber. Chases down his own rebound, but he's on the end line and out of bounds. 43 seconds remaining in the opening period. 10-9. Hazen by 1. Has not been a high-scoring period so far, but both teams have accomplished some things offensively. Hazen, most notably, breaking the press for a couple of easy layups. In the backcourt, Hodgson with it, spins away from Spalding, comes across the timeline. Bounce pass right of the lane, goes to Brooks. Cross court now, top of the circle. It's Breslin with it, throws inside, it's tipped, comes right back to Breslin. Long jumper by Montgomery, well off the glass and no good. Rebound to People's Academy. Montgomery put that one high off the window, but couldn't get it to drop. Oh, crashing the boards for PA, scores. Chris Toll on the transition bucket for People's Academy gets the easy layup. 11-10, PA by a point with 8 seconds remaining. Hustling it up into the corner, Montgomery crashes, he walked with it. Got the bucket, but he traveled with the pump fake. 4 seconds remaining, and PA now will try and go coast to coast for the quick one.
Didn't fake out official Vic Cassani. He faked out about everybody else, though.
Inbounds pass comes to Barber near center court. Fires from long range. Oh, he almost got it. Put it off the back of the rim and no good. So after one, it's People's Academy 11. Hazen Union 10. We'll be back with second quarter action in a moment.
In Morrisville and Stowe, Lower Village.
People's 11, Hazen 10 as we're set to start second period action. Wildcats with the basketball. On the top of the circle, Ken Brown goes on the right-hand side. Brooks almost lost it out of bounds, but did the tiptoe act on the sideline, and now they do lose it.
Oh, boy.
Brooks' pass goes off the hands of Mason and out of bounds.
Mark Pritchard up on that one. His team had the ball. It kept the ball in the corner. That's where you don't want it against that man-to-man.
Matt Rowe wide open from 17. His shot is no good. Backside rebound to Barber. Back out on top, Spalding. Wants the three. It's off the glass, no good. Rebound Montgomery of Hazen. Rob Montgomery looking to bring it up himself. Picked up near center court by Rowe. Across the timeline, off the hands of Brooks. A bump and taken away by People's Academy. Cole comes up with it, so PA gets their first steal off full court pressure. Spalding, top of the circle, will start the half-court play. On the right-hand side, it goes to Rowe. Crashing inside is Cole, who lays it up and in. Second bucket off the bench for Toll of PA.
And the second bucket off the bench for Toll, and a total of 8 points off the bench for People's Academy.
Substitution coming into the Hazen lineup. Mike Macia coming back in as Marvin Pritchard searching for a ball handler to break that press. Inbounds pass comes into the hands of Brown. Hazen now with 3 guards in the ball game. Brown across the timeline splits the double team, and the Wildcats will go to the half-court game. 6:55 remaining first half. 13-10 in favor of Peoples, and Hazen turns it over again. Doug Mason with the traveling violation that time.
Once again, he picked the foot up before he took off, and before he got the ball down, rather, he was anxious to go, just a little over anxious, and that's a little bit of where the jitters show up there.
Wildcats with a half-dozen turnovers here in the first half already. Long bomb by Aaron Barber around the rim and no good. Out of bounds. It'll be Hazen ball.
That might have been a 3 that went in and out.
That one went around the rim about 5 times before it popped out for Aaron Barber of People's Academy. 6:43 remaining, 13-10. The Wolves on top by 3.
The usual host of substitutions now for People's Academy.
Brown in backcourt for Hazen. working against Aaron Barber. In the backcourt, now brings it across the timeline. Brown comes top of the circle. Hassled by Bashaw. Reverse pivot, has some room down the lane, throws up the runner and gets it. Nice play by Ken Brown as Bashaw cheated to the right, tried to reach in for the steal, and Brown went left and right to the hole.
You mentioned the reverse pivot. That was an excellent move.
Top of the circle now. Bashaw for People's Academy. On the right-hand side, Toll was open from 12, didn't want it. Top of the circle, Bashaw once again. Takes it right of the lane, now into the corner. Toll fakes again, doesn't want the shot. Back out on top now, Sargent. Into the corner, left-hand side, Barber. Pass tipped inside. It's out of bounds to People's Academy. Wolves looking into the low post, but Mason got a hand on it, tipped it long into the seats. 13-12, Peoples with the ball and the lead with 5:55 remaining first half. Oakes, long bomb for three off the side of the rim. It's no good. Sargent knocks it loose, but the rebound comes to Hazen. Looking to run with it is Masha. Takes it right of the lane. Top of the circle, Montgomery. He wants the three. Yes! Three-pointer for Rod Montgomery. He has 7 in the ball game now. And Hazen back on top, 15-13. And we're going to have a foul away from the ball against People's Academy. The Doug Mason-Chris Toll battle beginning to heat up underneath, and the foul's going to go on Toll of Peoples. First personal, third on the Wolves. 5:34 remaining in the half. Hazen with the ball and a 2-point lead. Here's Ken Brown in the backcourt, brings it across the timeline on the left-handed dribble, brings it top of the circle, watch by Bashaw. Left of the lane now, Masha with it. Back out on top for Mason. Doug Mason on the right sideline, needs it near center court for Masha. On the left now, Montgomery, foul line extended, watched by Rowe. Bounce pass goes to Brown. He'll bring it out, top of the circle once again. Fakes at the top of the key, doesn't want the shot. Gets it to Montgomery, left of the lane. Trying to drive, runs into his own man. Gets it into the low post. Masha, his turnaround jumper won't fall. Rebound by Mason, laid up no good, and the Wolves clear the boards. Here's Toll hustling it up. 4 on 3 for the moment. Bashaw feeds inside. Toll off the glass. No good on the shot, but he did draw the foul.
Good power move to the hoop by Toll. A good feed by Bashaw.
I believe that's going to be on Masha. It is. Mike Masha of Hazen Union picks up his first personal. Third on the Wildcats here in the first half. 4:49 remaining. 15-13 in favor of Hazen Union. Biggest lead of the night has been 3 points. And Chris Toll now will go to the free throw line for People's Academy.
Oh, 4 points. He came off the bench in the first quarter.
And Toll will shoot 2. Chris Toll at the line. Coming off the bench for Bob Rowe doesn't mean a whole lot. The 5 PA starters play about the first minute and a half, and then it's a platoon substitution. So the difference between a starter and a sub is a very fine line indeed. Toll at the line now will get his second. Chris tonight has 4 points here in the first half. Second shot is up, no good. Lane violation. Wouldn't have counted anyway. It'll be Hazen basketball.
What's interesting in this situation with PA using all these players is the coach tries to scout PA and take all these notes. They got to have a big notebook, and you got to scout about 12 players.
Big notebook or a small computer, because PA comes at you in waves. Long jumper by Masha in traffic is good. Mike Masha from the foul line nails it, and it's 17-13. That's the biggest lead of the night. 4 points for the Wildcats. Top of the circle, Bashaw with it on the left-hand side. Oakes back to Bashaw. Works it, foul line extended right. Between the legs dribble, goes into the corner now for Jason Rochette. Cross court to Oakes, into the corner Toll. Back to Oakes, pump for the three, doesn't want it. Here's Bashaw, foul line extended right, looking into the paint, nothing there. Back to Oakes, now he'll take the three, switch. Thought about it again, fired it up and nailed it. All string. 17-16. The Wolves back within a point.
3B time and PA. Both teams hitting from outside the line.
Ken Brown, top of the circle, goes on the right-hand side to Hill. Aaron Hill, foul line extended out near center court. Willie with it. Looking to go right of the lane. Nothing there. Wheels into the paint. Pumps, fires, and no good. Rebound PA, and we'll have a foul on Hazen. That'll go on Aaron Hill. Picks up his first personal foul, only the 4th on the team. The next Hazen foul, People's Academy will get the 1-on-1. Wolves with the basketball, trailing by 1, 17-16. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. Rochette, baseline right for Peoples, back on the wing to Bashaw. Matt Bashaw to Rochette in the corner, back to Bashaw, foul line extended. Bashaw, back to Rochette. He'll fire from 12, swish. Union giving PA those shots. Rochette steals it, peels off inside, an easy bucket for Oaks. And People's Academy has the lead now, 18-17. As they get the full court press steal, check that, 20-17, Peoples, as Oaks gets the bucket off the steal. Mesa on the right-hand side, bounce pass out near center court to Brown. People's Academy really overplaying the man-to-man now. Brown, foul line right, top of the circle, Willie with it, guarded by Toll. Willie looking to back in, can't do it. Pulls up at the foul line, throws inside where it's taken by Brown. Foul line extended, his jumper off the side of the rim, no good, rebound Peoples. Hazen beginning to rush a little bit against that tough man-to-man.
That's one thing that Coach Marvin Pritchard was concerned about was shot selection.
Rochette, another shot from the right baseline, this time no good. And the rebound comes down to the Wildcats. Under 2.5 minutes to play first half. 20-17, People's Academy with it, and we're going to have another foul away from the ball as the carnage continues in the lane. I think that's going to go against David Willie. Willie of Hazen Union picks up his first. And the Wildcats now are over the limit. That is their 5th team foul. People's Academy will shoot 1-1 the rest of the way. 2:23 remaining. 20-17 in favor of Peoples, and referee Dick Cassani calling the Wolves up court for some free throws here. Now, you got to be impressed with the way People's Academy has held their own, and then some against the taller Wildcats here in the first half.
Oh, they've done a good job, as they usually do. There was a little mix-up on who was going to shoot the free throw, and a substitution had gone into the game. Matt Rhodes come back in for Toll, but Toll's now been called back out because he's the guy who's a foul.
Chris Toll will go to the line for the 1-1. Chris with 4 points tonight, but he's 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. Chris Toll, 6-foot senior forward for Coach Bob Rowe of People's Academy at the line. First shot is up. He's got it. 21-17, biggest lead of the night for People's Academy, 4 points. That matches a Hazen lead of just a couple of minutes ago. 2:23 remaining in the half. Toll at the line now will shoot the bonus. Eyes the hoop, sets, fires, and gets it. Chris Toll nails them both. 22-17, the Wolves by 5. Now Toll comes out, Matt Rowe in for the Wolves of People's Academy.
9-point run right now for People's Academy. They trail 17-13, now up by 5.
In the backcourt, Willie brings it across the timeline, this time uncontested. PA pressed the inbounds pass, then backed off. Ken Brown near the center court line, watched closely by Bashaw. Right of the lane, Montgomery going down low. Underneath, shot put up by Willie, no good, but he was fouled by Randall. Todd Randall gave him a little bit of the body from behind, trying to push him underneath the backboard, and picked up his 2nd personal foul.
Only ball movement that time by Hazen Union.
Only the 4th on the team for People's Academy. So they are not over the limit yet. Willie will get 2 as he was fouled in the act.
Will be now, that being a two-shot foul.
So David Willie will go to the line to shoot the 2. 22-17, People's over Hazen by 5. So we wind down toward halftime. Free throw by Willie, rattles, rims, no good.
That's one of those almost a crime to miss. I mean, the ball went up, hit the rim, went up, came back down in the rim, rolled around, rolled out. 2nd
shot by Willie is good. Willie gets 1 of 2. Cuts the People's Academy lead to 4. 22-18. Clock down to 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Matt Oaks, top of the circle for PA, leaves it on top for Spalding. Rick Spalding halfway to center court, trying to work against Brown. Takes it top of the key now. Looking for Rowe on the backdoor move, but can't find it. Oaks, left of the lane, trying to drive, goes right down the heart, throws it up and in. Nice move by Matt Oaks, who now has 7 points here in the second quarter. 24-18, biggest lead of the night, and Hazen turns it over against the full court press. Willie in backcourt was double teamed, and he shuffled the feet. So PA trying to make a late run here in the second quarter.
Hazen right now playing man-to-man defense. Marvin Pritchard was going to change up. He's concerned about some of the matchups. Doesn't mind them for a while, but he thinks there's some matchups PA can take advantage of.
Matt Rowe into the paint, throws up the short jumper, no good. Gets his own rebound, fights out in front, and gets the foul on Montgomery. That's either going to be Montgomery or Mason. And it is Doug Mason. So Mason picks up his 2nd personal foul. And the Wildcats now are over the limit with 1:24 remaining here in the first half. 24-18, People's Academy with a late spurt here in the second quarter. And Matt Rowe goes to the line. He'll shoot 2. First shot is up and in.
Rowe now with 6 points. That's 5 in the first quarter.
2 for 3 from the charity stripe is Matt Rowe, and he's got another one coming now. Second shot on its way, off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound Mason of Hazen Union. Quick outlet pass to Brown, working the left sideline, goes into the paint, throws one up in close, it's no good. Mason has a hand on the rebound, but can't corral it. It's out of bounds to People's Academy.
Boy, Mason came out of nowhere to get there.
And but credit Rick Spalding as well for People's Academy as he reached in and just kind of kept that ball out of his hands long enough so he lost it. Rochette, right of the lane, pump fakes and walks with it. That was the King Kong of all pump fakes for Jason Rochette.
It was the big spread.
Just about dislocated himself at the hips with that one. That traveled with the basketball. Brown on the left sideline against full court pressure. Gets it to Mesha. Foul line right. Top of the circle, Montgomery. Back to Brown. Thought about the 3, didn't want it. Here's Mason driving, and he's fouled by Rochette. First personal on Jason Rochette of People's Academy. And the Wolves are now over the limit. The 1-1 will be in effect for Hazen Union. 53 seconds remaining, first half. 25-18. People's Academy by 7. And Doug Mason will go to the line. Wildcats have scored only 8 points here in the second period.
And they've been outscored 11-1.
Mason gets the first of 2. Cuts it to 25-19. Mason now with the bonus. Eyes the hoop, dips, shoots, off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound Sargent of People's Academy. 45 seconds to play. We'll see if the Wolves hold for 1 here. Spalding, top of the circle. On the right-hand side, Rowe, halfway down. Pump fakes, goes baseline, lays it up, in and out. Rebound to Rowe, and he draws the foul. Matt Rowe, as per usual, playing a step over everybody in terms of intensity, followed his own shot and picked up the foul on Mason, and that is number 3 for Mason of Hazen Union.
That right there could be significant. 3 fouls in the first half for Mason. 39 seconds left in the first half.
Mason out, Ian Breslin in for Coach Marvin Pritchard, but the final 3 minutes of this quarter have not been kind to Hazen. Matt Rowe's going to go to the line to shoot the free throws. Matt Bashaw back into the PA lineup, replacing Oakes. 39 seconds remaining. 25-19. People's Academy by 6. And Rowe will shoot 1-1. First shot is on its way. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound to Sargent. Pops it right back up and in. Paul Sargent on the offensive boards took that one right out of the hands of the Hazen rebounder and laid it home.
Well, that rebound came where few do, off the front of the rim, and Sargent was there.
Montgomery, right of the lane, gets it out to center court formation. Now it's Brown at the top of the key. Ken Brown calling the play. Clock down to 15 seconds to play here in the first half. Mesha, foul line extended right. Back out on top for Brown. Working a long way from the hole at Hazen Union here. Breslin back on top, Montgomery. Looking to drive right of the lane. Pump fake. Fires from 15. Swish. That was a big bucket by Montgomery as the half ends, as Rowe was all over him. An off-balance jumper from 17 feet. And at the half, Peoples 21, Peoples 27, Hazen 21. Now and I will be back with the halftime report in a moment.
If there's building in your future, call Grimes Incorporated to Morrisville to line up your excavating project. If it's a road to your building site, a cellar hole and septic system for your new home, a pond or spring work, you can count and be just...
Steve Rudy, Mount Bowright, back at People's Academy in Morrisville. We're at halftime. The 4th-ranked Wolves of People's Academy leading the number 5 Hazen Union Wildcats 27-21. Our halftime report brought to you tonight by our good friends at Green Mountain Sports at the Blinking Light here in Morrisville. Want to remind you, still to come tonight on AM 550 WDEV, a big sports night. We'll have coverage of the Division II Ice Hockey Championship between the Highlanders of Harwood Union High School and the Northfield Marauders. After that, the Boston Celtics. So a busy night tonight on AM 550.
Well, we're going to go from cold to hot in that one. I mean, you go from a hockey rink at the University of Vermont Gutterson Fieldhouse for hockey, then to Miami, where the Celtics are playing tonight against the Heat.
Steve Baroni will be ice side, if you will, at Gutterson Fieldhouse in UVM, along with Pete Hard of the Barry Montpelier Times-Argus for Harwood and Northfield, Division II Hockey Championship here on AM 550 immediately following the conclusion of this one. Let's take a look at the halftime scorebook for our friends at Green Mountain Sports in Morrisville. Some balanced scoring as usual for People's Academy here at the half.
Well, we'll go to People's Academy first, the home club. In this Division III playoff, the Wrights here, of course, ticket to Barry.
Tickets to Barry to play most likely the top seed, Arlington, on Monday night at 8:15. Not sure how much of an honor that is, but we'll talk about that a little later.
Well, Matt Rowe with 6 points. Matt Oates with 7, including a freebie there in the second quarter. Those are the only points for the 5 starters for Bob Rowe. Now, here's the bench. Well, let's say non-starters, because I think saying bench is probably not fair, because these guys don't pick up too many splinters in the course of the season.
No, indeed.
Chris Toll with 6. Paul Sargent with 4. Jason Rochette with 2, and a big assist, and Rick Spalding with 2. So there's 14 points. When non-starters for Bob Rowe.
It's a luxury to have only 13 points out of your starters at halftime and still lead by 6, but it's a luxury that Bob Rowe is well used to over the years. He's always had incredible depth on this book.
Yeah, he and Casey Jones have a different philosophy of coaching.
Bob, if they're there, Bob uses them, and it pays off at playoff time.
And it also pays off in practice, they say, too. It just keeps the team relevant. Now, there's a downside, though, and I probably should mention this. Some coaches believe that if you substitute too much, it's very difficult to get continuity going in a certain group. So that's one of the little coaching controversies that goes on over the years. Bob Rowe, we know what side he comes down on. Anyway, for Hazen, and Hazen substituted pretty freely in that first half, too, but the points are all with the starters. Rob Montgomery with 9, including a 3-pointer. Doug Mason with 5. Dave Willey with 3. And then Kent Brown with 2 and Mike Nasher with 2.
So far, People's Academy has done a pretty solid job of keeping a man in the face of those outside shooters for Hazen Union. They had a couple of long bombs in the first half, but PA, as per usual, overplaying that man-to-man. If Hazen can get inside, start banging the boards for some inside buckets, it might force Bob Rowe, as much as he hates it, to go to the zone and perhaps open things up from the wings. But so far, Hazen has not shown the ability to go inside.
No, and no foul trouble for People's Academy either. Todd Randall has 2, and the only other players who have fouls only have 1 apiece. I think the turning point in that first half was there in the second quarter when People's Academy kind of tightened the screws, if you will, on their full-court press, really took Hazen out of their half-court offense, disrupted it completely, and went on a 12-to-1 run after trailing 17-13. Next time we looked up at People's Academy was leading 25-18.
Well, the first 2 efforts for People's Academy with that full-court press did not look at all promising. They kept Hazen in backcourt for 8 or 9 seconds, but when the Wildcats finally did get across the timeline, it turned into 2 consecutive uncontested layups. But Coach Bob Rowe stayed with the full-court press, got a couple of turnovers on the next 2 possessions, and the Wolves, as you said, were off and running, and they lead now at the half by 6.
And after those 2 turnovers, Hazen, instead of taking its time, keeping the ball in backcourt for 6 or 7 seconds, waiting for something to open up front, they started to hurry. When they started to hurry, they started to turn the ball over.
At the half, it's Peoples 27, Hazen 21. We'll be back with more of our Green Mountain Sports halftime report after these words.
Now is the time to head up to your country Ford dealer, Hardwick Motors. You can take advantage of an unheard of offer. 6.9% financing up to 48 months plus $750 cash back on Ford Escort, one of the world's best-selling cars. This is an incentive rarely offered in the automotive world. 6.9% for 48 months and $750 cash back. Dennis and Greg have the best selection of cars and trucks ready to move out. Stop by for the best deals. Hardwick Motors in Hardwick.
How does a Caribbean cruise sound to you right now? Well, DeMars Hardware and Rentals in Morrisville and White Westinghouse give you ways to win a Caribbean cruise around the Cunard Countess. Buy 2 or more major appliances from DeMars and White Westinghouse and get $1,000 off the cruise price. Purchase 1 appliance and save $500 on the cruise. Or stop into DeMars and register to win a Cunard cruise in the Don't Miss the Boat Sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Come in today and you could be cruising in the Caribbean from White Westinghouse and DeMars Hardware and Rentals, Harold Street, Morrisville.
Halftime at People's Academy, Morrisville. The host Wolves over Hazen Union, 27-21. This Division III quarterfinal matchup. We want to remind you, tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, we'll be back on the Division II playoff beat as, well, the upset specialists in the last week or so, the Lancers of Lamoille Union High School, travel down to Randolph to take on Coach Bruce Viens and the Galloping Ghosts. On the basis of what we've seen out of Lamoille in their first two starts, Coach Bruce Viennes, I know, is a little bit worried about Lamoille coming to town tomorrow afternoon.
I think he's got something to worry about. And, you know, we talk about upset, and, you know, you go by the seedings. I think you're right. It was if you go only by seedings, it was an upset. But you take U32 against Lamoille during the season, I don't think anybody was too surprised about the outcome of that one either way. It would have been a 4-point game probably either way.
No, that series was a split during the regular season as well, and you and I both know that U32 coach Dan Gandon was taking nothing for granted when Lamoille came to town, especially off that big win over People's Academy. But it bears repeating. Don Messier of Lamoille said his team turned a corner when they knocked off People's Academy in their final regular season game to qualify. I'll tell you what, if they played the way they did against U32, they can beat any team in the state right now. There's still a couple of definite favorites in Division II as far as getting to the auditorium, but don't count anything out for Lamoille right now. They're pumped up.
It's going to be an interesting game. Both coaches with 2 days to prepare. And I would suspect in both gyms there's been some rather hectic preparations going on.
The Lancers and the Galloping Ghosts tomorrow afternoon just prior to 2 o'clock here on AM 550 WDEV. At the half here, People's Academy leading Hazen 27-21. We'll be back with more from Morrisville in a moment.
Cabot Sharp Vermont Cheddar Cheese has just won the Best Cheddar in the USA award in a national cheese contest. The 400 Cabot cooperative families and the creamery staff are proud of this award and want to thank you for your support and patronage. We've always believed that Cabot naturally aged Vermont Cheddar is the best. So whether you like Cabot Vermont Cheddar because it's award-winning or just because it tastes good, pick up some today. And remember Cabot Light Vital Aid, half the fat and cholesterol and fewer calories, but that great natural cheese taste from Cabot.
27-21, People's Academy over Hazen Union. Both teams out for their second half shoot-around. And now, if you're Coach Bob Rowe, I don't know that there's a whole lot you change in the locker room at halftime for Peoples. Defensively, they're getting the job done, especially with that full-court pressure.
They're playing good man-to-man. That is really BA's defense. I think he changed from a zone press to go to a full-court man-to-man. That didn't make a difference. I think he's going to stay as what he's doing. No question, it's working.
Other side of the coin, if you're Marvin Pritchard, got to get something going offensively, and that man-to-man has not been easy to work for the outside shot.
Well, he's got to work on his press break. I suspect he had the chalk out and design of the full court and was going to change up his press break a little bit and maybe set up a little better few picks to try and get some more outside shooting. Basically, though, they've got to get that ball into the hoop one way or another, and I suspect one of the things he's going to want to do is try to be able to set up a better half-court offense and yank the ball inside and see if they can get a few of those big guys, either some easy hoops inside or the foul line.
People's Academy with a 6-point cushion as we prepare for third quarter action. The Wolves 27, the Wildcats 21. We'll be back with third quarter action after this from Green Mountain Sports. An addition to the gymnasium here at People's Academy. When the place starts selling out at 20 minutes to 6 for a 7 o'clock ball game, it's always this way. When Hazen and Peoples play, you don't even need the playoffs. It's always packed when we get here.
I got to tell you, they've made, and most members of the bloopers should know this, they've made some additions over at the lunch counter. Besides those great hot dogs and the drinks, now they've got brownies.
Unfortunately, we're required to stay here during the half, but somehow I'm not surprised that you knew that. 27-21, People's Academy over Hazen Union. Both teams just about finished with their halftime shoot-around. And talking during the break, you said, and I agree with you, if this continues to be a full-court game, it's got to play into the hands of People's Academy because Hazen Union wants the outside shot, the setup, work it around, and get the good jumper, and so far it hasn't happened.
That's right. A half-court game would probably favor Hazen. A full-court game is going to favor People's Academy.
Something I think that Marvin Pritchard most likely addressed at the half as well, rebounding, particularly defensive rebounding, because People's Academy, despite giving up some fairly significant height on the front line, out-rebounding Hazen on their offensive boards.
They are. And another thing, Marvin Pritchard was very emphasized. He felt to win this game had to have good shot selection and a patient offense. And with this hurry-up that's been dictated by the People's Academy pressure, it's really hard for Hazen to develop that kind of offense.
Wolves will inbound. They'll have the basketball to start the second half. 27-21. They lead it by 6. Winner advances to play either number 9 Green Mountain or top-ranked Arlington Monday at 8:15. Everybody in the house here figures it's going to be Arlington, but you never know when you get to playoff time. Top of the circle for PA. Oaks goes left of the lane. Rowe drives the lane, missed the shot. Rebound loose on the sideline, saved in. Comes down to Bashaw, who lays it up uncontested.
That was alertness from Bashaw, who was waiting to put on the full court press. There's the advantage of being in the press.
3 Wildcats surrounded that ball, but they couldn't keep it inbounds, and Bashaw ends up with the easy layup. 29-21. That's the biggest lead of the night for either club. People's Academy by 8 with 7.5 minutes to play in the third. Montgomery, baseline right, goes into the low post, and we'll have a foul on Sargent of People's Academy.
Sargent from behind.
Paul Sargent going over the back on Willie, trying to deny the pass. Got the arm instead. Wildcats to inbound. They get it into Willie, right of the lane. Takes it foul line extended, turns around, faces the hoop. Goes baseline now to Brown. Wheels out in front, puts it up, and he's fouled by Bashaw.
Got a piece of the ball, but also got the arm to Bashaw.
So the Wolves pick up 2 personal fouls in the opening 45 seconds of the first half. And Kenny Brown will go to the line for Hazen. He'll get 2 shots. Brown tonight with just 2 points in the ball game. This will be his first free throw of the night. Hazen has had only 4 attempts from the free throw line in the ball game, making 2 of them. Shot by Brown is up and good. People's Academy 4 of 7 from the charity stripe. Hazen now 3 of 5. Have not spent a lot of time at the foul line. Second shot by Brown is good. Ken Brown gets them both. 29-23. Wildcats back within 6, and they'll do a little press of their own, and they almost get the steal. Rowe comes up with a loose ball in backcourt and saves it. Here's Oaks on the baseline, lost it out of bounds, and hit the referee right in the eye with it. Now we got a referee walking it off on the end line. See a little bit of everything. He was wearing glasses, and I think the main problem was his own glasses.
Well, the ball changed direction when it went up and hit a hand, and bingo.
I think what it hit was the backside of the backboard. He lost control of the ball going to the hoop and hit the backside of the backboard, caromed off, and hit the referee right in the right eye. So we've got a momentary stoppage.
One of the 8 players just left the floor. He's right by the door to put the ball in play. Went to get a drink of water. Now, if the referees had seen him, that could have been a technical foul. You're not supposed to leave the floor without permission.
Well, David Willie got himself a little bit of a refresher, and now he's back and ready to inbound as soon as the referee is ready to play.
I think he got away with it. The referees are otherwise occupied. Dick Cassani would have been in line to see him, but he was concerned with the other officials.
While they determine whether the referee is going to get some free throws or not, we'll pause 30 seconds for this commercial message. Back to People's Academy in a moment.
Winter means snow, and snow means hassle to everybody but kids. But there's good news. An entire line of quality John Deere snowblowers are on sale at Blackmount Equipment. John Deere has snowblowers and throwers to handle all kinds of snow conditions from heavy to light. Their selection ranges from the lightweight 3-horsepower snow thrower right up to their 10-horsepower snow blower. All on sale now at Blackmount Equipment in North Haverhill, New Hampshire. John Deere snowblowers. They could bring out the wintertime kid in you.
High-quality building materials and professional service. You hear that every day in one form.
This will be a basketball fan's dream. The old cries of, hey, ref, get a new pair of glasses will be accurate for the first time. I think we're set to go. Both teams taking the court. Yeah, it looks like the spectacle situation, and the spectacle is over, to coin a very bad phrase. 29-23, People's Academy by 6 with 7:04 remaining. And we're set to go. Willie'd known he was going to get a timeout. He wouldn't have had to go down the hall for the drink. But anyway, he's set to inbound it. Gets it in for Montgomery in backcourt. Full court pressure by People's Academy. Ken Brown in backcourt will work against Bashaw. Brings it up across the timeline on the left-handed dribble. Takes it foul line extended. Down the left-hand side, Breslin. Top of the circle, Machia. Now Willie. Willie on the right wing, takes it halfway down, right on the three-point line, goes baseline for Machia in the right corner. Back on top, Montgomery. Fakes the three, doesn't want it. Guarded closely by Rowe. Montgomery now dribbles baseline, goes around Rowe to the bucket and lays it in.
Good move for Rob Montgomery.
Montgomery now in double figures with 11 for the Wildcats. 29-25, they're back within 4. Rowe beating the full court press, brings it to forecourt for People's Academy. Toll on the right-hand side, now top of the circle, Bashaw with it. Matt Bashaw on the right wing, Toll. Top of the key, Oaks with it. Matt Oaks on the left wing. Bashaw working against Machia. Top of the key, Toll. Inside for Rowe. Shovel pass inside for Sargent, who lays it.
Beautiful play by Rowe.
Jump pass went up from about 8 feet, but saw Sargent all alone for the easy 2 and dished it off. 31-25, Academy by 6. Breslin, jumper from long range is no good. Rebound to Oakes of Peoples. Long lead pass on the right sideline. Toll with it. Gets it back out on top for Bashaw. Oakes on the left. Thought about the three. Didn't want it. Gets it back on top. It's stolen by Mesha. Looking to go to the hole. Lays it up and in. Mike Mesha, second bucket of the night. 31-27. The Wildcats hanging in there.
Mesha did a good job of smelling out that passing lane and just getting himself in there for the steal.
Bashaw looking to go baseline right. Pops one over Breslin. No good. Rebound Sargent for two. I'll tell you, Paul Sargent has really begun to make some progress in the last 4 or 5 games for People's Academy. He was a big factor in the final regular season game against Hazen. He was a big factor in the season ender against Lamoille. And he's turning into a factor here as he's got 8 in the ball game. Inside they go. Shot blocked by Sargent. Comes down to Willie, who lays it up no good, and the rebound to Peoples.
Sargent made that play. Great block.
Bashaw to front court. Going baseline for Oakes. Saves it inbounds. Has to bring it out, and he walks with it. Matt Oakes took the extra step trying to get the pass off, and Hazen will have the basketball. 4:46 remaining in the third. 33-27. People's Academy by 6. Here's Brown in backcourt, hustling it up against Bashaw. Brings it to forecourt, looking to go all the way. We'll have an offensive foul call. Chris Toll set the feet, took the charge, and he'll go the other way. The personal foul goes against Brown of Hazen.
Toll gave up his body for the team.
First personal on Brown, the first team foul on the Wildcats here in the second half. The People's Academy will have the ball. Bashaw comes out. Aaron Barber into the lineup for Coach Bob Rowe of People's Academy.
I got to tell you, Brown had a steam going, too. He was going to the hoop.
Chris Toll had to have his mouth guard in on that one because when he stepped out there, he knew he was going to take a lick. Spalding, top of the key on the left-hand side. Barber firing long. Swish! That's a three-pointer for Aaron Barber. Barber comes off the bench, and within seconds, he's got a three-pointer on the way. Marvin Pritchard calls the timeout, and it's a 9-point ball game. The Wolves 36, the Wildcats 27. We'll be back.
If you're dairy products, you're selecting the best. For a healthy, refreshing pick-me-up, pour a glass of Morse's Dairy Milk. The milk and dairy products you get from Morse's are about as fresh as you can get. So when you're shopping Lamoille County's dairy cases, choose Morse's, the one with the Vermont seal of quality. Morse's Dairy, Morrisville.
Inbounding following the timeout, picked up a quick foul. That's going to go on Rick Spalding, his first.
Well, speaking about timeout, you remember that timeout in the first quarter that Hazen took because they couldn't get through the press. Now Hazen has used 2 timeouts, and we got 12 minutes to go in this game.
I nonetheless think it was a smart timeout because Hazen went down 9, and they were a little bit rattled. Montgomery gets the jumper.
That was a timeout that had to be taken. There's no question about that.
But your point is exactly right. That timeout when they fail to inbound may come back to haunt them if we get close here down the stretch. Aaron Barber left of the lane. This time he gets plenty of attention. Spalding at the foul line. Throws up an off-balance runner. It's good, and we'll have a foul called. And it's going to go against the Wildcats. Count the bucket for Spalding, and the foul is on Willie of Hazen Union as they were jousting inside for the rebound that never came. David Willie with his second personal, check that, second team foul on Hazen. The People's Academy with the bucket and the ball now. And they trail 38-29. People's on top as they look to inbound. They get it in, top of the circle. Barber, he'll fire for 3 off the rim. This time, no good. Rebound, Rose slapped out of his hands and out of bounds. Montgomery got a hand on it from behind and knocked it over the end line.
So mad at himself, he wanted to jam that one right back up and in. He was down in the redwoods.
Had all kinds of room underneath to do it. Inbounds pass comes to Sargent. His jumper, no good. Rebound Montgomery of Hazen. Rob Montgomery is keeping the Wildcats in this thing. He's got 4 of their 8 points here in the second half. Mason, left baseline, goes to Brown, trying to drive left of the lane. Nothing there. Back out on top, it's Montgomery, guarded by Rowe. Rob Montgomery trying to go right of the lane. Nothing there. Gets it out to Brown. He'll fire for 3. He's got it. No, it's a 2-pointer. Toes on the line for Ken Brown. 6 points in the game for Brown. Matt Rowe going to the hole, lays it up and in, and it's going to count with the foul. Oh, and that's going to hurt for Hazen Union because I think that's number 4 on Doug Mason. It is.
Marv Pritchard not happy about that at all. He gave referee Dick Cassani a few words.
So Matt Rowe gets the bucket. He'll go to the line for the free throw. And Doug Mason picks up his fourth, 41-31. The Wolves with their biggest lead now by 10. Brown on the left-hand side gets it back out on top for Montgomery. Watched closely by Rowe. That's been a good matchup tonight. Montgomery has it off his own foot, taken by Spalding. 3-on-3. Spalding right down the middle, throws it up and in. Rick Spalding with his second bucket here in the third quarter, 43-31. The Wolves by a dozen. Here's Brown, cross-court, jumper by Breslin, off the rim, no good, rebound to Rowe. People's Academy really beginning to air it out now. We'll have a foul at backcourt on Montgomery.
That was a reach foul. Those are the kind coaches don't like to see.
Montgomery had a quick word for Dick Cassani as well. Cassani wheeled around, gave him his best impression of the hairy eyeball. I think perhaps Dick has heard enough from the Hazen bench now that not going to hear a whole lot more. Let's put it that way. Wolves to inbound, leading by a dozen. Spalding out near the center court line, now works at top of the key. Rick Spalding holds it high over his head. On the left, Barber thought about the three again. This time didn't want it. High post, it's Rowe. Back to Barber. Baseline jumper, yes. Aaron Barber with 5 here in the third quarter, 45-31. And we'll have a PA foul as they attempt the press. That'll be Chris Toll. Toll of the Academy picks up his second, 4th team foul. Hazen has got to find some offense here. It's as simple as that.
Coach Marvin Pritchard would love to take a timeout. That'd leave him only one. He may have to if things keep bleeding away here in the third quarter.
I think he's just got to grit his teeth for the next 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Willie lobbing inside for Montgomery underneath, and he walked with it. Rowe got a hand on the ball. And you can probably hear the reaction of the Hazen crowd. And now Dick Cassani just told Marvin Pritchard, I believe the exact words were, sit down, shut up. And Marvin did half. He shut up, but he hasn't sit down yet. People's Academy, Toll, right of the lane, throws it up, and he's got it. It's not going to count. They're going to call interference. Sargent with the interference as the ball was in the cylinder. Sargent reached up, got a hand on it, so the bucket will not count.
He was up over the rim, hit the rim, and that is interference. Good call by Dick Cassani right there.
A minute 45 left in the third. 45-31. Wildcats trying to just control the bleeding here. At the top of the circle, jumper by Breslin. No good. Rebound, Barber of Peoples.
Wildcats getting good shot selection. Ball won't go in for him.
But there was nobody home for the rebound. Steal by Montgomery, looking to go coast to coast. Lays it up, missed the shot. Rebound to Toe. It's out of bounds. People's Academy ball. Oh, and the Wildcat fans are ready to take some hostages now. As they thought Montgomery was fouled as he went up with a shot, and he may well have been. It was one of those borderline calls. Here's Randall into the contest for PA, replacing Sargent.
The shot actually was a layup in front of the rim, which can be difficult under full speed. He gets the ball up over the rim, hit the rim, bounce back off.
People's Academy has outscored Hazen 18-10 here in the third quarter. They now lead by 14. Matt Rowe to forecourt. 3-on-3. Pops from the foul line off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound, Aaron Barber. Barber having a big third quarter for Peoples. Looking to drive. Bashaw, underhand scoop shot is no good. Rebound loose, taken by Hazen. Wildcats need a bucket here. They have scored only 10 points in the third quarter. On the left-hand side, Brown. Runner in the lane is no good. Rebound loose. Here come the Wolves. 2 on none. Cole out in front, lays it up and in. No, he missed it. Rebound to Bashaw. Wheels around off the glass again, no good. Cole has it, puts it up again, no good. And Hazen clears. They'll have the foul on Chris Cole. How do you like that? 2 on none, and they can't convert.
Well, Easter's coming, but that time Peoples missed the bunnies. A couple of them.
Chris Toll missed the uncontested layup. It ends up picking up his third personal foul.
I'll tell you, I've got to give Willie some credit. He was in there with some heavy slogging it out. Finally got the rebound and got fouled.
And this could be quite a turnaround for the Wildcats. This could be as much as a 4-point swing as PA missed the easy one. And now Willie will go to the line to shoot 1-and-1. Free throw is up and in. Dave Willie didn't give up on it. He was thoroughly outnumbered by People's Academy, but kept fighting him there. Ended up getting the rebound. Willie now will shoot the bonus with 48 seconds remaining, third quarter. Second shot, up and good. Willie gets them both, 45-33. The People's Academy lead back to a dozen. Here's Bashaw in the backcourt, hustles it up the right sideline, goes all the way to the corner with it. Bashaw now brings his foul line extended. On top, Rowe. On the left-hand side, Aaron Barber. Barber on the baseline. Bashaw with some room, deals to Rowe, who lays it in.
Good cut by Rowe to get there.
And a nice pass by Bashaw as he picked him up. 47-33. Peoples by 14 in the high post. Turnaround shot by Aaron Hill. No good. Rebound Rowe of Peoples Academy. Again, Hazen unable to hit the offensive boards. Here's Rowe. Goes right down the heart. Lays it up. No good. His own rebound. Hits it again. No good. And Willie clears the glass. 7 seconds remaining. Wildcats trying to hustle it up. It's kicked out of bounds by Toll of Peoples. The clock stops with 5 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Hazen will try and get a bucket here to close it out. Willie to inbound. Lobs out for Montgomery. Clock down to 3. Fires from 21 feet, and it's a good 7 feet short, and that'll do it for the third quarter. 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Peoples 47, Hazen 33. We're back to Morrisville after this.
Now,
Peoples Academy led by 6 at halftime, but on the strength of a 20-12 advantage in the third quarter, it's now 47-33, and Hazen Union is just going to have to start throwing bombs now.
Well, they got to air it out. They're going to have to run, too, and I'm not sure that's the game they want, but they don't have any choice.
Well, we said at the half that a full-court game did not favor Hazen, but now it's their only option. Willie gets the inbound pass to Brown in backcourt. Ken Brown across the timeline, watched by Bashaw. Bounce pass on the right-hand side, Masha. Takes it to the baseline, get a pick, go right out in front and throws it in. A nice pick that time by Brown. Allowed Masha to go all the way around the horn for the easy two. Rowe in backcourt, quick, falls, and he's called for the travel. Rowe just got tangled up on his own feet that time and went down.
One of the great little games going on here out inside the big game is Montgomery and Rowe.
Oh, yeah.
One-on-one against each other.
That's been a battle tonight. Masha, foul line extended left, out on the three-point line, gets it top of the circle to Brown. 47-35 Peoples. Montgomery down low, lays it up and in. Montgomery now with 15, and it's a 10-point game. 47-37 with 7:20 to play. Fritz Toll out near center court, gets it left of the lane for Barber. Aaron Barber, top of the key, Rowe. Holds it high over his head. On the left, Barber lines up the three. It's good! Oh, they're going to give him 2 again. The PA bench thought it was 3. I thought it was 3, but Dick Cassani was right there, and he says 2. Barber tonight has 7 points. Masha out near center court for the Wildcats. They trail 49-37. Down low, Montgomery all alone. Lays it in
By Willie.
It was indeed Willie, not Montgomery, as he lost his man on the backdoor cut. Peoples Academy trying to work against full court pressure. The Wildcats knock it out of bounds. And again, Dick Cassani with an earful from Marvin Pritchard. And we're going to have a timeout called by Peoples. 6:46 remaining in the ball game. The Wolves 49. The Wildcats 39.
If there's building in your future.
49-39. Peoples Academy leading by 10. And for Coach Marvin Pritchard, this may be gut check time. They've got to get this thing down to single digits and get themselves within striking range.
Oh, they checked out the guts. I'll tell you, the way they came out here in the fourth quarter, they had some breaks and some calls go against them in that third quarter. But right now, Hazen fired up. Marvin Pritchard had a little smile on his face when they came in that time. They're playing well right now. Hazen playing very well.
Bashaw takes the inbounds pass for Peoples Academy. He'll start it out near center court. 6:40 to play in the contest. The Wolves by 10. In the low post, Matt Rowe goes baseline. Turnaround pop is good. 13 in the ball game for Rowe, Peoples Academy. 51-39. They lead by a dozen. Into the front court, Ian Breslin for Hazen Union. Gets it on the left-hand side to Montgomery. Foul line extended on the three-point line. Montgomery brings it top of the key. Bounce pass goes on the right-hand side to Metcalf. Montgomery again on the left, top of the circle. Breslin with it. Throws the pass behind his man and out of bounds. Aaron Hill cutting for the bucket. And Breslin threw it a step behind him and into the seats.
Now, Matt Rowe playing defense on Montgomery that time. Montgomery tried to go to the hoop. Couldn't do it. Had to give up the ball.
6:05 remaining. Full court pressure now by Hazen Union. In the backcourt, Bashaw. They'll clear out, let him go one-on-one, and he does it easily. Bashaw, right of the lane, all the way to the hole, lays it up and in. Matt Bashaw saw the daylight, and he was through the hole for 2. 53-39, the Wolves by 14 now. Breslin to forecourt, gets it to Montgomery, takes it baseline left, pump fakes, no shot. Back out on top of the circle, Metcalf with it. Goes to the foul line, stops, pops off the foot, no good, rebounds to Sargent.
had a hand on the ball. A hand out of a white jersey was on the ball.
Toll on the right, fires long. Rims, rattles, and goes for Chris Toll. Toll now with 8 in the ball game, 55-39. And the Wildcats need a bucket here, I would say. We got a whistle and a timeout being called by Marvin Pritchard. They are down to it now, 55-39. People's Academy on top by 16. We'll be back after this message. And that's a lot of time, but right now, Hazen Union is going in the wrong direction. They needed to start a run. Instead, People's Academy has opened the lead. Now they lead 55-39.
Hazen's got to get some hoops quick. They got to make things happen. They're playing pretty well. Last 2 times offensively, though, they got a little bit impatient, and that's really what they can't have. Now, they got to have quick hoops, but they still got to be patient enough to get the good shot. They can do that with some good ball movement. On the other hand, their defense has got to get the ball for them a few times also.
Now or never time for the Wildcats, and Doug Mason comes off the bench. Mason will play with 4 personal fouls. Hazen to inbound. Masha, foul line right, brings it up on the top of the key. Masha, right of the lane now, Breslin. Into the corner, Mason lobbing down low for Montgomery, lays it up, can't get the shot, rebounded underneath, and will have a People's Academy foul.
No question about that. There was a little mayhem inside.
Aaron Hill came down with the board for the Wildcats, and the foul is going to be on Chris Toll. That is his 4th. So Toll, the first People's Academy player in foul trouble. And Aaron Hill will go to the line. Hill, one of 4 players brought up from the JV club by Coach Marvin Pritchard. Free throw is up, no good. Rebound, Aaron Barber of People's Academy. Long lead pass into the right corner for Toll. He holds it up. Now out on top again, Barber with it. Aaron Barber, watched closely by Masha. Clock down to 4:50. And Masha reaches in for the steal, instead gets the foul. Second personal for Mike Masha. And now the Wildcats are over the limit, as that is their 15th foul here in the second half. 55-39, the Wolves by 16 points. Toll comes out of the ball game, replaced by Tim Cox. And Matt Bashaw will go to the free throw line for the Wolves. First free throw is up, rattles, no good, and the rebound to Mason of Hazen Union. Long lead pass, Montgomery out in front of the pack, lays it up and in. And that'll bring Bob Rowe off the bench. Last thing they want to do is give up any fast break layups here. Here's Bashaw on the right sideline. Goes into the corner for Rowe. Matt Rowe with some room to work. Pops from 15. It's off the front. No good. Rebound Hazen. Breslin comes away with the board. Leaves it in backcourt. Here's Masha. Hustling it up the sideline. Looking inside for Mason. Tipped and stolen away. And we're going to have, it's out of bounds, People's ball. Montgomery and Bashaw both went to the floor after it. They're going to say it was last touch by Montgomery of Hazen. Here's Rick Spalding and Matt Oakes into the contest for PA, replacing Bashaw and Barber.
Shift changes continue.
The late shift in now for People's Academy coach Bob Rose. We're down to 4:19 to play. Cox into the corner, left-hand side. It goes to Oakes. His pass kicked out of bounds by Breslin of Hazen Union. 55-41. People's Academy by 14. The winner advances to play either Green Mountain or Arlington Monday night at the Berry Auditorium. 8:15 ball game. Cox at the foul line, wide open for the jumper. It's no good. Rebound, Sargent, who lays it in. Sargent now in double figures with 10, and that is a big bucket.
Certainly is.
57-41. Down to 16 now with under 4 minutes to play. Mason lobbing into the low post. Mason turnaround from the baseline is an air ball, and the rebound to Cox of PA. Leaves it off now to Spalding. Rick Spalding, top of the key, will stop it up. On the right wing, Oakes. Halfway down now, Rowe in three-point territory. Cross-court Spalding, working foul line extended. At the foul line, Oakes looking to drive into the paint. 12-footer is no good. Rebound to Sargent, but he walked with it. Sargent got a little bit of a bump underneath, just enough to make him shuffle the feet. Continue now to be impressed with Paul Sargent. 6'3" junior, seeing a lot more playing time in the second half of the year for Peoples.
And he has certainly proved that it's paid off because he played a good game tonight on the boards and scoring some points.
Hazen Union with the ball, and they need some points. Here's Brown driving inside, shot blocked by Sargent, but we're going to have a foul against Cox. Sargent went up with a big mitt to reject the shot, but the foul had already been committed by Tim Cox. First personal on Cox of People's Academy.
That's what Hazen's got to do, just go for the hoop. hope they get layups, close-in shots, or get to the foul line. They really need to get to the foul line because that's where you score points without time running off the clock.
Ken Brown trying to put some points on the board here as he will shoot two. First shot is on its way and no good.
That's the other thing. You get to the line, you got to make them.
Now, the Cats are now 6 of 9 from the foul line. They haven't had a whole lot of opportunities from the charity stripe tonight. Brown with the second shot off the back, no good. Rebound to Breslin, loose on the floor, taken away by Rowe of People's Academy. So Brown draws a blank, 0 for 2 from the line, and the PA lead remains 16. Here's Rowe, foul line right in three-point country, out on top to Cox. Spalding looking to go baseline, fires from 18 and gets it. Big bucket for Rick Spalding. He now has a... People's Academy always gets a lot of points out of their bench, but they're getting more than usual tonight, and Marvin Pritchard is going to take the timeout. 2:54 remaining, 59-41, Peoples by 18, and I think Coach Pritchard has got to go to the back page of the scorebook now and come up with a wild thing.
Yeah, they got to fire from long range. You got some long range shooters, as you pointed out. People's Academy, though, has not given up many from out there, many shots. Montgomery took one just at the end of the third quarter, but Matt Rowe right in his face and has been all night long.
Let's take a look at the scoring for the People's Academy bench with just under 3 minutes to play. Chris Toll with 8, Paul Sargent with 10, Aaron Barber with 7, a bucket for Jason Rochette, 8 for Rick Spalding. That's better scoring than a lot of coaches get out of the starting 5 over the course of a game.
That's more scoring than Bloopers get in 5 games.
That's true, but that's a different league. And the result is an 18-point lead for People's Academy. Matter of fact, only 3 starters have scored for PA. Matt Rowe with 13, 7 for Matt Oakes, and 2 for Matt Bashaw. So out of the 59 People's Academy points, only 22 have come from the starters. And that kind of balance is tough to overcome.
Certainly is. And always fresh legs on the floor for People's Academy.
Montgomery wants the 3, and he gets it. Right off the inbounds pass, Rob Montgomery gets his second three-pointer of the night. He now has 22 points in the contest, and we're going to have a Wildcat foul. Well, the strategy's pretty simple here if you're a Wildcat fan. Shoot the 3 when you've got the ball, foul the man when you don't, and try and get it back. Foul is on Ken Brown, his second. And they're going to put Spalding on the line. Rick Spalding tonight with 8 points for the Wolves.
First time to line tonight, so that's the guy they wanted to foul. Not much question. You always want to hit the guy who hasn't been in the line.
There goes that strategy down the drain, and Spalding swishes the first one. People's Academy, 6 of 9 from the charity stripe tonight. Spalding now will get the bonus. Rick Spalding looking to hit double digits with the shot here. It's up and good. 61-44. That is the biggest lead of the night. 17 points for PA. Mason looking to go down inside for Breslin, and right in the back is Matt Oakes of PA to pick up the foul.
That's what Bob Rowe doesn't want, are fouls.
Keep that old clock running. As long as that clock keeps on ticking, there's not a whole lot of bad things that can happen to PA at this point. Oakes picks up his first personal. And that's going to put Ian Breslin on the line, 5'10" junior forward for Coach Marvin Pritchard of Hazen. Breslin is scoreless tonight, hits the first one. 61-45. The Wolves by 16. And again, the winner will play Monday night at 8:15 at the Berry Auditorium. Second shot, no good. Rebounded and laid up and in by Aaron Hill. So Hill up from the JV club gets the offensive board, 61-47. The lead down to 14. Peoples with the basketball. Cox in the deep right corner, walks it out halfway, gives up the dribble. Now near center court, Spalding with it. And he gets bumped by Brown. Brown picks up his third personal with 2:16 remaining in the contest. Tomorrow night here on DTV, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say, at 2 p.m., the Lancers of Lamoille Union, the Galloping Ghosts of Randolph. Boys Division II quarterfinal action will be on the air at about 10 till 2 tomorrow afternoon here on DTV. Still to come tonight, Division II, Vermont State Hockey Championship. Harwood Union and Northfield coming to you from the Gutterson Fieldhouse on the campus of UVM. Free throw by Spalding is good. I'll tell you what, we've got some nominations to make for the Pepsi Player of the Game when this thing's all over, and it's going to be a tough one. Because just about everybody off the bench for People's Academy in double figures are close to it tonight. Second shot by Spalding, yes.
Spalding now 4-4. here in the late stages.
4 for 4 with a total of 12. 63-47. Long bob by Mason for 3. No good. Rebound loose on the end line. Out of bounds to the Wildcats. Well, give Hazen credit. They're still firing. They're not dead yet, but with 2:06 remaining, they're hammering nails in the coffin. Wildcats to inbound underneath. Brown gets it out on top. Montgomery. He'll take the 3, and it is no good off the front. Rebound loose underneath. They play volleyball. It's laid up and in by Aaron Hill. Hill gets his second consecutive bucket. 63-49. The Cats back within 14. Spalding in backcourt gets fouled. That'll be on Montgomery, his third. Well, Hazen doing what they have to do here. They're putting points up, and they're fouling People's Academy players. Unfortunately, the Wolves have been perfect from the free throw line here in the fourth quarter.
Because the only one to go there is Spalding, and he's 4 for 4, and now he's going to try to make it 6 for 6.
Well, that's one of the general rules. You basically have to foul the guy with the ball, and People's Academy is not letting anybody have it except for Spalding. Coach Bob Rowe didn't just fall off the turnip truck yesterday. You know, he put his good free throw shooter at the line. Spalding, first shot, yes. 5 for 5 in the fourth quarter for Rick Spalding. Having himself a ball game.
Certainly is.
A minute 51 remaining. 64-49. Peoples by 15. Trying to put the final dot on the I for this one. Spalding gets another one.
His line right now is 4-6-14.
Not a bad night. Brown, top of the circle for Hazen. On the right, Mason to Montgomery, looking to drive, gets bumped, fires one under pressure, and gets it. Tell you what, the closer they guard Rob Montgomery, the better he shoots. He now has 11 points here in the fourth quarter, 24 total. And we're going to have a Hazen foul. Again, Marvin Pritchard doesn't like the call, and again, he's got a word for Dick Cassani. And I think Cassani now is just going to laugh at him the rest of the way, because I think he's heard it all at this point. He's getting an earful from the Hazen grandstand as well.
Well, that foul on Brown is 4th, and you know who?
Yeah, guess who, folks? Rick Spalding at the line. A minute 33 remaining. 65-51. The Wolves on top, looking to advance to the Monday's 8:15 semifinal at the Berry Auditorium. Spalding at the line will shoot 1 and 1. Free throw is up. Yes. Kid's gone unconscious. Somebody call him a doctor. 7 of 7 now at the line. He's got another one coming.
7 of 7 in prime time.
Second shot. Oh, he missed it.
Rimmed it, though.
Yeah, in and out. He missed it. Rebound to Hazen Union. Under a minute and a half to play. They need threes and a lot of them. Willie on the outside fires one. Randall blocks it. Comes right down to Willie. He fires it up again. It's no good. Rebound Spalding of Peoples. Hazen wishes somebody else would get the basketball. Montgomery fouls it.
Fourth on Montgomery, and Spalding going back to the line.
Back to the line. Marvin Pritchard saying, doesn't anybody else handle the ball for you guys? Rick Spalding back at the charity stripe. Coach Bob Rowe getting down toward the end of the bench, sending a few more substitutions in, and Spalding will go to the line. And it looks like, barring a major league comeback, the People's Academy will be playing either Arlington or Green Mountain on Monday at 8:15 in the Division III semis. Spalding at the line. He'll shoot the 1 and 1. Rick Spalding takes a long look. Shot is up and good. He is now, 8 of 9. 8 of 9 from the line, and he's touched iron once on the 9. Another substitution into the Hazen lineup. Brown will come out. Mesha back in. Mesha's coming in simply because he's got 2 personals and he can afford to whack somebody. But at this point, if they keep whacking Rick Spalding, it's only going to hurt him, because Spalding's killing him at the free throw line. Spalding, second shot up. Yes. I don't know what's the record for free throws in a quarter. Spalding comes out of the game and gets a round of applause.
Well, he's got 9 for 10.
That's a pretty good night for most players. He did it all in the fourth quarter. Mesha for 3 off the front of the rim and no good. Rebound People in the backcourt, and we'll have a foul call. Jason Rochette gets stumped with 1:05 to play. Mesha got him. That'll be his third.
Well, now Rochette becomes the designated swisher.
Once again, immediately following the conclusion of this ball game, Harwood and Northfield, the Highlanders and the Marauders, Division II Vermont State Hockey Championship, Coming to you from Gutterson Fieldhouse on the campus of the University of Vermont in Burlington. Then the Celtics and the Miami Heat, a big night of sports. Here on your sports leader, AM 550 WDEV. Jason Rochette picks up right where Spalding left off and nails the first one. People's Academy is going to have an inhuman line from the free throw line when it's all over tonight.
Right now, they're in the fourth quarter. They're 11 for 13.
They were 5 of 8 from the line before that. Second shot by Rochette is good. I'll tell you, PA didn't win it at the foul line, but they held on to it there for sure. 1 minute to play, 70-51 in favor of the Wolves. Montgomery fires and hits.
Montgomery having a good night himself.
A big night. 25 or 6 points now by my book for Montgomery, and Hazen commits the foul in backcourt. Foul's going to go on David Willey, his third, and I think now it's going to be Matt Bashaw stepping to the line for PA. Matthew has just 4 points tonight, but he is not counted on for a lot of scoring. He's the man out top that runs the show, runs the offense for Coach Bobrow.
Hey, he made a couple of nice drives down the lane. Good penetrating guard.
Bashaw at the free throw line with 1 and 1. Shot is up, no good. Rebound Hazen.
Oh, Ripley, they missed the free throw.
Montgomery bounce pass through the lane for Mesha with the easy layup. Mesha now with 8. Clock down to 40 seconds. 70-55. Wolves by 15. Hazen trying to foul, but they can't catch the basketball. Cross-court pass over everybody and out of bounds. The Wolves had 2 men under the bucket all by their lonesome, but neither one could get it.
Now both teams have pretty well cleared the bench.
Yeah, the white flag is going up on both sides of the gym. 15-point ball game with 35 seconds to play. The Wolves will advance to the Division III semifinals.
Montgomery gets a big hand, and deservedly so.
As well he should, playing his final ball game tonight in the red and white for Hazen. So the Wildcats will finish 12-9 on the season. People's Academy goes to 15-6. Breaks the 2-game winning streak in what I might say is impressive fashion here tonight, and they'll move on to the semis. Clock down to 25. People's Academy with it. Jumper from the wing by Todd Fitzgerald, no good. Chased down in the corner by Randall. Gets it back to Fitzgerald. He'll fire again and get it. Todd Fitzgerald with his first bucket of the night. 72-55. Clock down to 10. This will be the final possession. Out on top they go. Rubley with it, fires up, no good. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and that'll do it. People's Academy is headed for the semis. They beat Hazen tonight 72-55. Now and I will be back with the Village Photographer postgame wrap-up in a moment.
Now is the time to head up to your country Ford dealer, Hardwick Motors. You can take advantage of an unheard-of offer. 6.9% financing up to 48 months, plus $750 cash back on Ford Escort, one of the world's best-selling cars. This is an incentive rarely offered in the automotive world. 6.9% for 48 months and $750 cash back. Dennis and Greg have the best selection of cars and trucks ready to move out. Stop by for the best deals. Hardwick Motors in Hardwick.
High-quality building materials and professional service. You hear that every day in one form or another. But our people at Country Home Center are highly trained, helpful, and knowledgeable. I'm Dana Wiles of Country Home Center. Remodeling and building can be an exciting and a stressful time without the right advice or materials. Most of us here at Country Home Center are former builders ourselves, so we can steer you in the right direction. And our materials are only the best. No bargain basement stuff here. We don't just sell products. We specialize in working with you. We're Country Home Center, Route 15 and 100, Morrisville.
Dave Moody, Mal Ballwright back at People's Academy in Morrisville, where the Wolves have advanced to the Division III semifinals with a big win, 72-55 over Hazen Union. We'll take a look at the scorebook for our friends at the Village Photographer, the Northgate Shopping Plaza in Morrisville. First of all, for Hazen Union, the Wildcats bow out of the Division III playoffs with a final mark of 12-9. High score in the contest. A big night for Rob Montgomery. Playing his final game for the Wildcats, he ends up with a total of 26 points tonight. He hit from everywhere on the floor, had a couple of three-pointers, and he really was the Wildcat offense tonight, Mel.
He certainly was. He did a lot of good things out there, and he broke loose in the fourth quarter, and he had 13 of those points in the fourth quarter. Until then, I guess as much as you can keep a guy under control, and keeping Montgomery under control probably means you've done a good job if he hits 20 or less. And he had Well, 26, he had 13 going into the fourth quarter. So one of the goals that Bob Rowe had in this game, the coach of People's Academy, was to keep Montgomery under wraps as much as he could.
Indeed, they did what they could, and in the end, it ended up being enough because Montgomery didn't get the help that he needed. Mike Mason tonight with 8 for Hazen, 6 for Ken Brown, 5 for David Willey. Doug Mason with 5. Not only 5 points off the Wildcat bench tonight, Aaron Hill with 4 late in the ball game and a free throw for 1 for Ian Breslin for a total of 55 for the Wildcats of Hazen Union. For People's Academy, now 15-6 on the season and headed for the semifinals at the Berry Auditorium. High scorer in the contest, Rick Spalding, off the bench with a total of 17 points, 11 of those coming in the fourth quarter, 9 of those 11 coming from the free throw line, where he was 9 of 10 from the stripe. People's Academy, by the way, in the fourth quarter, 11 of 13 from the charity line to put this one away. 13 points tonight for Matt Rowe, 7 for Matthew Oakes, 8 for Chris Toll, 7 for Aaron Barber. Jason Rochette had 4. Todd Fitzgerald late in the game had a pair. Matt Bashaw with 4 as well, for a total of 72 points for the Wolves of People's Academy. A very impressive effort for tonight for PA and Coach Bob Rowe.
Great team effort. I mean, when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys that score, that tells you you've got some players. You're deep. And boy, that's nice. That is a nice situation.
The People's Academy depth always seems to come home to roost in the playoffs, and it did so here tonight as they take the win over Hazen. Once again, PA 72, Hazen 55. Back with more from Morrisville in a moment.
Add a unique decorative touch to your home with a frame from Village Photographer. You know, they've finished remodeling and expanded their frame service, offering over 500 different...
Back at People's Academy in Morrisville, Dave Moody along with Mal Bollwright, 72-55. People's Academy over number 5 ranked Hazen tonight, and some nominations now in order for tonight's Pepsi Player of the Game award.
Well, I'm going to start with Bob Montgomery of Hazen, 26 points, a good, outstanding all-around ball game for the Wildcats.
Montgomery with 26, definitely a nominee. I'm going to give a nomination tonight off the People's Academy bench to Rick Spalding. Ends up leading his team in scoring with 17 points. You could argue that this game was over before the fourth quarter began, but then again, maybe not, because Hazen Union scored 22 points in the final 8 minutes, and had it not been for the efforts of Rick Spalding, perhaps it would have been closer than it was at the end. But Spalding, 11 of his 17 points in the fourth quarter. Again, 9 of those 11 coming from the foul line. A solid performance.
Nomination also for Matt Rowe. Leadership, 13 points, rebound.